Hello students, in this part we will discuss on nervous system. Nervous system. In previous part we have discussed some explanation about the neural system. Neural system is made up of nervous tissue which form the nerves and glia cells, and nervous system means nervous tissue. In human being, there are two types of nervous system, and these two types of nervous system are CNS, it's called the central nervous system, and second one is PNS, peripheral nervous system. So in human being there is two types of system which two types of nervous system which help in control and coordination. Actually two types of system which control and coordinate all the body. Those are nervous system and hormonal system. In this chapter we will discuss on nervous system. In human being there are two types of nervous system. One is CNS, central nervous system, and second one is PNS, peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system, it is the main nervous system which control all the axis of the body. Main system which control all over the body. And this system contains brain and spinal cord. This contains brain and spinal cord. Peripheral nervous system, the nervous system which associate with CNS and help in to complete the function, to complete the control and coordination of the whole body by the CNS. This system associate with CNS and help in controlling and coordination the whole body by the CNS, because CNS is the main part which control whole body, and that system, peripheral nervous system, help the controlation and coordination by the CNS. The peripheral nervous system contains nerves. This system contains nerves, and those nerves are of two types: efferent fiber or efferent muscles fiber. These efferent fibers are also known as sensory neuron. Which we have already discussed. If there is some hot or cold thing we touch accidentally, we withdraw our hand, and these signals are transferred by the sensory and motor neurons. The signals which transfer from the effector organ to the brain or to the CNS, those are called sensory neuron. Means what is the function of sensory neuron or efferent fiber? They transmit the information or impulses from effector organ to CNS. CNS means either brain or spinal cord. And second type of fibers are efferent fiber. Efferent fiber. These are also known as motor neuron. These motor neuron transmit the signal from CNS to effector, means they transmit the signal from effector organ to the CNS, and now they transmit the signal from CNS to effector. They transmit the signals or information, you can say that impulses, from CNS to effector organ. Those fibers are called efferent fiber or motor neuron. One more neuron is mixed neuron. It means the neurons which help both type, means act as sensory and motor neuron. Those are called mixed neuron. They act as sensory neuron as well as motor neuron. Those are called mixed neuron. The peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system is basically two types. Somatic nervous system, and second one is autonomous nervous system. Peripheral nervous system, as we have already discussed, this system associate with the CNS and help to control and coordination the whole body. So peripheral nervous system is under control by the CNS. CNS stands for brain or spinal cord. Somatic nervous system, the nervous system in which all the actions are completed voluntary, means they are under the control of CNS. For example, movement in skeleton. In this system, the voluntary action, it means desired function. When the function which according our will, those are called voluntary action. Such as movement in muscle, that type of system is called somatic nervous system. Autonomous nervous system, it means the action which are involuntary, means those are not according our will. Those actions which are not occurred according our will, according our desire, those are called involuntary, and involuntary action control involuntary action under the autonomous nervous system. This system contains involuntary action or involuntary function. It means the actions which are not according our will, those are called autonomous nervous system. And autonomous nervous system is of two types. Autonomic nervous system is two types. It is also known as ANS, autonomous nervous system. Two type: sympathetic autonomous nervous system, ANS, and second one is parasympathetic ANS. Parasympathetic ANS. It means this is a part of ANS, autonomous nervous system. both the system function opposite to each other. दोनों के दोनों sympathetic and parasympathetic function opposite to each other, and this type of function, this type of system is two systems and they function opposite to each other, that is called antagonistic. Antagonistic. So we can say that parasympathetic and sympathetic both are antagonistic. It means both the actions perform in opposite direction. One is forward direction, the other one is backward direction. For example, sympathetic. Due to the secretion of sympathetic, due to the condition of sympathetic, it escalates the heartbeat. It means this system only happen in stressable condition. It occurs in stressable condition. And parasympathetic occurred in normal condition. Normal condition. Due to the sympathetic autonomous nervous system, it increases or escalates the heartbeat. It increases the heartbeat. This is the first one. Second is it increases the heartbeat. Then it decrease the heartbeat. Third one, it inhibits the salivary gland to secrete saliva. It inhibits the secretion of saliva. Secretion of saliva. It inhibits, then it helps in secretion of saliva. It helps in secretion of saliva. As we have discussed here, both are performed action opposite to each other. Sympathetic and parasympathetic both perform action opposite to each other. So this system is known as antagonistic. Two more terms are, one is gray matter and second one is white matter. What are gray matter and white matter? The fluid which is present in cranium as well as spinal cord, that is present due to the myelinated or non-myelinated fibers. If there is non-myelinated fibers are present, that makes the gray matter. If there is no, or you can say that non-myelinated fibers present, that makes the gray matter. Or if the myelinated fibers are present, that makes the white matter. Due to the presence of myelinated fibers. Myelinated fibers are present in neuron. So we can say that non-myelinated neuron and myelinated neuron. These are the matters. And the next one is, as we know that in human being, the nervous system or cranium is covered with the membrane. Those membrane are called meninges. Next one is in human being, the nervous system means CNS covered with the three membranes. The human being, the CNS, central nervous system, is covered with three membranes which are made up of connective tissue. Those protective three membranes are called meninges. Those protective three membranes are called meninges. In human being there are three membranes, but in some other vertebrata some contain one membrane and some two, whereas human being contain three. For example, in Pisces or fish is protected, the cranium of the fish is protected by the single membrane. The cranium is protected by one membrane, and that membrane is called meninges primitiva. Some other reptilia and amphibian. Reptilia and amphibian are protected with two membranes. And those two membranes, the name of the two membranes are as follows. First one is pia-arachnoid matter, and second one is dura matter. These are the two membrane which protect the reptilia and amphibian cranium. In human being, as we have already discussed, the cranium is protected, CNS is protected with three membranes. These three membranes are made up of connective tissues and called meninges. In human being, three membranes. The first one from the outside is dura mater. This is the outermost, which is made up of fibers. Second one is arachnoid. This is the middle layer. It is made up of collagen. And the third one is pia mater. And this is made up of squamous epithelium tissue. Squamous simple epithelium tissue. And this is the innermost layer. As you draw the structure of the layer, suppose from outside, this is the first membrane, and first outer membrane is known as a dura mater. This is dura mater. The one membrane, and between the one and second membrane there is a gap present or a cavity present, and this one is the second membrane. Middle membrane of the meninges is called arachnoid, and third layer, which is the innermost layer, this innermost layer is called pia mater. These are the three protective layer by the three protective layer which cover the CNS. The cavity is present between the dura mater and arachnoid, and second cavity is present between the arachnoid and pia mater. This cavity, which one? The cavity which is present dura mater and arachnoid is called subdural space or subdural cavity. And the cavity which is present between the arachnoid and pia mater, this is called subarachnoid cavity. A fluid is filled in this cavity. A fluid is filled in the subarachnoid cavity, and this fluid is called CSF, Cerebrospinal Fluid. The fluid which is present in the subarachnoid cavity is called cerebrospinal fluid. What is the role of this fluid? This fluid helps to protect our brain from external shock. This fluid protects us from external shock. A person who is listen accidentally a very dangerous, or you can say that imaginary conditions, very shocked conditions, then the person becomes very mad, becomes mad if the amount of the fluid remains very weak. This fluid helps us to protect us from external shock. Clear?